I am of the personal opinion that this video will probably be disturbing to many of you. But this is a test. For you, YouTube, this is a test. Let's see how you react. Because the actions you take here will define what we are about to watch. The video in question is from Right Side of History, and they wrote, okay, now can we admit it's not family friendly? It's a video of two men engaging in BDSM sexual kink play in public in front of children at a pride parade. There are pride flags everywhere as two adult men engage in overt sexual activity. Now, it's not gratuitous in that there's no, overt intercourse. What they're engaging in is what would probably be described as kink, BDSM kink, or foreplay. Now, if YouTube says it is not advertiser friendly, I question you, YouTube. Why? It's in public, on display, for Pride Month, in front of children. If children are watching this in our streets, what seems to be the problem? If YouTube age restricts this video, well, hold on there a minute. What do you mean? This is publicly on display for children. And worse, if I get a strike and that shuts down Timcast for, I think it's like a week or two. Can't post any videos, can't stream, no shows. Well, so be it. But this is in public and available for everybody. And I'm in no way insulting any of these people. I'm asking you, YouTube, do you believe children should watch this video? I'm going to play it. Here you go. Now, don't worry. I mean, if you're just listening, you can't hear anything. And for those that are watching, just don't, in my opinion, watch it in front of your kids. But here's one man tying a leash around another man's neck who is sticking his bare butt back behind him. And, this video actually doesn't have the full spanking and BDSM in it. I wonder if I actually have that one pulled up. This one just shows the choking. Let me make sure we get the full picture here, because I think it's unfair if I don't actually show the full video. I don't know if I retweeted it, because I was probably more just like, yeah, okay, no, I'm not interested in posting that. But for the sake of this video, I bet I can just pop onto my timeline and find it. Let's see if it pops up. No, I'll have to search for it. But because Twitter is actually a bit over the top, to be completely honest, I'm not going to search for it on screen because, yeah, I don't think, Twitter's not, no. But let's, I bet I could pull it up real quick for you guys. Bear with me here as I get this video, and found it in 2 seconds from our friends over at Redux. And here you go. So once again, you see one man tying a leash on another man's neck who's wearing bondage gear with his bare buttocks showing. And this man, he is then going to pull out a flogging tool, and they drive around cheering, children present, as he spanks the man in public. This is an overt sexual act. Overt sexual activity in front of children. As they all cheer and clap. Waving, smiling. Okay. All right. Look, this is in public. This is legal, right? So then I would just ask. And I don't know if this is from this year or not. They say it's from Belissa Cohen. And one guy's wearing something that says 2019. Either way, we're watching this at a Pride event. Is this acceptable for kids, for families? Will YouTube age restrict this? This video has 1 million views. It's been seen by a lot of people. Will we get a strike or anything like that? I don't know why I would, because children watch this. Two men performed a sex act in public as BDSM flags were displayed during the family-friendly West Hollywood Pride Parade yesterday. Okay, so this is yesterday. A witness of the float informed Redux that there were children in attendance. Okay. This is it? Here you go. From Drew Hernandez. Tempe, Arizona's first annual all-ages Pride Party featured a LGBTQ rapper performing songs about gay and anal sex and converting straight men gay through sex acts to a crowd that included infants and children. LGBTQ adults can be seen dancing along with kids. Alcohol was sold. Here's my assumption. My assumption is YouTube won't give me a strike, won't demonetize. They'll allow it completely. It is entirely possible that they do they do those things. YouTube has been a bit better. And I mean this with all due respect, okay? YouTube's been a bit better than Facebook. We can't post anything on Facebook. This video will not be on Facebook. Facebook takes down anything. We talked about the boycott and stock prices, and Facebook took it down. It's like, okay. They were like, it's hate speech. All we're doing is talking about stock price. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. YouTube, at the very least, does allow us to criticize these things. YouTube may actually say, hey, we agree with you. No, kids should not watch this. And that's the point. If YouTube does, then okay. And they might. Then we say to all of these organizations, this is not appropriate for children. I certainly don't think it is. You have that book, Genderqueer. On Amazon, the book is listed as being for 18 and up only because it depicts overt sexual acts. Yet for some reason, it's in middle schools. This is where we've come to. Here you go. Libs of TikTok. Pride Day at St. Matt's Tigers. So, they privated their account. Wow. The school was decorated in Progress Pride flags with teachers dressed up for Pride. Here you go. In this video, you have teachers waving Pride flags, wearing this gear. These things aren't appropriate for children. Happy Pride Day, they're saying. All the teachers are dancing. Homeschool your kids. Look at these kids. These kids are waving the flags. Everyone walk in. They don't seem to be very enthused. This is a cult. Everyone is welcome here, the flag says. Sure. And there's the rainbow. Up. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That rainbow is a symbol of God's covenant to the earth. And it's a religious symbol that should be removed from the school. Just saying. There's the kids skipping through the rainbow, dancing. They don't know anything about it. They don't know about it. This is what indoctrination looks like. They're the teachers dancing and singing. Homeschool your kids. And I got to tell you, you got to watch who your kids are hanging out with. You have to. I got no issue with pride parades. Just no kids. If there's going to be overt sexual activity like we just saw and they're doing it, and it's infuriating, no kids. You can't have kids there. So in Florida, they did this. Good job, Ron DeSantis. And what happened? A pride event got canceled, a pride parade. And they're like, Ron DeSantis is oppressing us because they said you couldn't do adult activities in front of kids. It's already illegal. Well, here you go. So this is what grooming is. And I think it was Tim Heidecker who said it. He said the goal was to normalize and indoctrinate kids and all this stuff so that when they're older, they're not repressed or angry and whatever. That's called grooming. Literally what grooming is. Grooming. Let me explain. I have before, but in this context, let me tell you why the school is grooming. Okay. What does the L stand for in LGBT? What does the B and the G stand for? Lesbian, gay, and bisexual. Direct references to who adults have sex with. Okay. If you're not teaching children about sexual activities, you don't teach them about any of it. But what's happening in these schools are saying is that the birds and the bees for adults, heterosexual sex, we're not going to tell you're not ready, but we will tell you about all the others. The left acts like it's not the case. Love is love, they say. Those two guys engaging in foreplay BDSM kink on a truck in front of children, yet that's not love. But they'll lie to you. They'll say it is. Remember when Winsome Sears was on Bill Maher like a couple weeks ago. And she said, look, I don't want my kid getting a lap dance in school. And he goes, well, that's not happening. And then she was like, yes, it is. And he goes, I've not seen it. And she goes, Bill, you need to read more because Bill doesn't pay attention. And you get these parents here who are like, what do you mean? We're not doing anything. And you show them the pride video, show them the video I just showed. Say, that's what you want your kids to watch? No, you don't. But this is the erosion, grooming. Tim Heidecker says he wants this normalized. I'm pretty sure it was Tim Heidecker. You know, I want to make sure. Let me make sure I'm getting this right, because I would be remiss if it was not him. He says, what does he say? Yeah. Someone said we do not need this normalized, and he said, yes, we do. Let me pull up the tweet. Here we go. Tim Heidecker. This is, he's Tim and Eric, I believe, right? Yeah. He said, "You dumb mother effer, Matt Walsh. Exposing kids to LGBTQ plus is the point. Normalize this ish now for them, and they won't be so confused, repressed, isolated from the modern world as adults. Grow up and join the 20th century, you total losers. They're not showing effing porn at Target. They have rainbow-ish. God damn it, are you people cruel?" The 20K people who like this tweet don't need any more context and can easily comprehend that understanding LGBTQ plus people exist and that it's okay and healthy for kids to understand this does not make someone a groomer pedo. Not true. If you jump to the conclusion, you are a sucker, grifter, religious extremist. So Tim Heidecker's wrong. He's completely wrong. And I'll explain. Why go to a child who has not learned about any kind of basic sexual activity and explain to them that there are two adult men who are going to spank each other in public? There's no reason. You don't need to normalize that at all. And I'm not a Christian conservative nor a religious extremist. I am not saying children should never learn. I'm not saying that children shouldn't engage in these things. I'm not saying I think gay marriage should be legal. I think gay parents should be allowed to adopt. I'm saying that there is a certain age in which we start explaining the birds and the bees. Perhaps the first thing we do is we say boys like girls and girls like boys. And then boys and girls come together and they have love and then they engage in the reproductive act, which produces babies. Then we can say, beyond this, there are things called paraphilias. And there are certain people who have different or atypical sexual proclivities. But only after the kid understands the basic birds and the bees first, right? So, grooming, what is it? Tim Heidecker doesn't understand. The assumption that grooming starts with the most extreme is wrong. It doesn't. Grooming starts with the lightest, most basic thing, which is a rainbow. Hey, kid, look at the rainbow. It's pretty, isn't it? All grooming starts that way. Now, the issue is if you go to a kid and show him a rainbow, that's not grooming. If you go to a kid, show him a rainbow and say, lesbian, gay, bisexual, now you've entered that room. You've opened the door to explaining to children about sex when they're not prepared for it. Why? To normalize them into certain behaviors. That's what grooming is. So, Tim Heidecker supports grooming. Maybe it's because he doesn't understand what we are saying, or he doesn't agree with it, but a fact is a fact. It is not my opinion that grooming starts with the light. If it was, okay, look, they're trying to convince you that grooming is like you walk up to a kid and you show him a magazine. Look at these pictures of adults doing things. That's not grooming. That's literally just exposing a kid to adult material. Grooming has to start with something light. I'll tell you the story. I knew a guy. He saw an ad on Craigslist that said model needed. Modeling. Innocent old modeling. And so he was like, okay. And they said $200 paid cash for 1 hour of work. And he was like, he hit him up and said, what do you think? And they're like, absolutely. You're perfect. Come on in. And they said, take off your shoes. And they took pictures of him with his shoes off. Gave him $200. The next step was, do you want to do any like bathing suit stuff? Like at the beach, or, you know, we want to do like, we have shorts. And they got him to wear how about you do like a wife beater, like a tank top and shorts? Then they did that a couple times, giving him more and more money. Completely innocuous, totally fine. Who cares? Guys wear this stuff all the time. Then they said, why don't we do like swim trunk stuff? Like, would you be okay with that? Yeah, you would. Okay, take your shirt off. All right, pictures. What they do that a couple times. You see, all of these things are seemingly innocent. Seemingly innocent. I'll tell you where this goes. It goes to a dark place. The next step after a few weeks of doing swim trunks was, Speedos. Like, look, guys wear this stuff. You look great in them. What's the difference? We'll pay you $200 extra. Then what happened? How about nude stuff? How about you and this other guy sitting down, both modeling in swim trunks? Okay, now put your arm on the guy. He's your buddy. Do that a couple times. Within a few months, they had him arm around another man, taking pictures, telling him it was just modeling. Guess where it ended up? I kid you not an exaggeration. He became a prostitute. No joke. No question. They said, would you be interested in maybe, hugging the guy? Would you be interested in doing any like romance stuff? And then eventually they got to the point where he was just a prostitute. They kept offering more and more money. They said, look, you already took all your clothes off on camera. What's the big deal about doing this one? It's the same thing. That's what grooming is. You give them the lightest thing. You're a model. Pose for me. It's seemingly innocuous. And then they say, it's not grooming that you're showing them a rainbow. Right. If you show a child a rainbow for the intention of showing him a rainbow, that's totally fine. If you have a man, woman, or child model by wearing a nice outfit for a catalog, that's not grooming. But if your intention is to indoctrinate the kids to normalize sexual activities like Tim Heidecker admits they're doing, you're grooming. That's it. Use the word however you want. This is basically what it means. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up tonight at 8 p.m. over at youtube.com/TimcastIRL. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.